Hey guys, Jake here with a video review of the upcoming game Hero Siege. This game is created by the company Panic Arts, whose most popular games include Zombie Kill of the Week and Extermination. It's slated for release on December 18th of this year on mobile platforms, PC, Mac, and Linux. So the object of this game is pretty simple. Kill waves of monsters while hoarding money as if you're a hobbit hungry dragon. You have three classes to choose from, that is the Viking, Pyromancer, and Marksman, and each class has skills and attributes you can put points into as you level up. Unfortunately, due to major flaws in the game's balance, it's hardly worth choosing the Viking. Here's where we can discuss one of the game's major pitfalls and overall design flaws. This game turns conventional balancing procedure on its head. Viking is a melee class, right? So one would surmise you'd deal a lot more damage with brute force that puts you at a high risk versus a class that can lob projectiles from a safe distance while kiting around the battlefield. This, unfortunately, is not true. As an example, Viking versus Crate, Pyromancer versus Crate. Because of this, I chose not to pursue too much progression using the Viking class. Instead, most of my time was spent on the Marksman. So I'd say it's pretty satisfying to put loads of monster-piercing arrows through hordes of enemies, but unfortunately this rewarding feeling doesn't last long, as there truly is no threat imposed from foes that can only look on helplessly as you murder them by the hundreds. This brings us to one of my next major problems with the way this game is designed: the pacing. As a game marketed primarily to mobile consumers, it takes a staggering amount of time to reach a point where monsters actually begin to pose a risk to your champion. You're told how to use items and abilities at the beginning of the game, but may have to invest hours before gaining either of those things. What this means is that your prolonged first impression of this game is that you'll be doing one thing with most of your time here: pressing in the direction opposite the monsters with one hand, while pressing towards monsters with the other. Luckily, the game does throw in some variation to spice things up. One such way the game changes things a little is in the potion system. Every time you use a potion, it's going to have a random effect. It could be good or bad. Unfortunately, the developer skips out on a brilliant opportunity to engage the player intellectually and doesn't really attempt to establish a pattern between colors of potions and their effects. Each potion truly is random. Still, it's a nice feature that breaks up the monotony and has you wondering what buffs your character will discover next. Another form of variation is something we commonly experience with hack-and-slash games where monsters have a chance to spawn with modifiers. Early on in the game, these modifiers are the only thing that really have a chance to kill you if you're kiting effectively, and that's something that's going to serve to keep you on your toes. There may be a few balance issues here and there, but it's a good feature to have. The last major piece of the puzzle is the shrines. Unfortunately, this feature has room for improvement as well. To explain why, let's look again at the pacing. The game forces you to endure wave after wave of monsters as you grimly grind your way to the top and fight the occasional boss. If you die, you're going to start all over, but you keep your level. The only thing that's going to kill you is the traps scattered throughout the level. So the mindset you're going to adapt is to simply avoid anything that's going to one-shot your character as you guide the droves of enemies to their graves. This is where shrines come in. A devil shrine has a chance to kill you or buff you, while the holy shrine is usually going to buff your character. No chance or buff is worth the risk of death, period. So you're just not going to use devil shrines. The best way to summarize the feel of this game is that it mashes together tons of features of popular hack-and-slash games in a fairly smooth environment. The issue is that there's almost no innovation here, and that many of the features taken from other games tend to be implemented poorly. The good news is that the game at its core is fun, and this, in addition to the many unlockables and achievements, will keep many of us playing. Now that we're well acquainted with the game, let's look at the verdict. The good: addictive monster-destroying action and generally smooth gameplay. The bad: the game fails to engage the player intellectually, lacks innovation, balance, and has a somewhat frustrating pace. I gave this game a 6.5 out of 10. Given the amount of time available to polish this game off a bit, and the fact that it's going to be released for free on mobile devices, it's definitely going to appeal to players thirsty for some hack-and-slash action that doesn't require you to pay to win. Thanks for joining us here at IGM, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay on top of all the latest indie news, gaming, and reviews. Let us know what you want to see by leaving us a like, comment, or favorite so that we can continue to develop content best suited for you.